Good morning, guys, and welcome to Tuesday's FRT Gold live video. Hope you're all doing well. Monday's out of the way, which is always a good thing. Hope you had a decent enough Monday. Can now look forward to the week ahead. A week today until Royal Ascot gets underway, of course. So plenty of excitement in the racing world. But before that, really decent weekend, or decent week and weekend of action. And yeah, but you do have to say that a lot of the excitement is starting to build now for Royal Ascot. Today we've got how many meetings? We've got 5 meetings on today, so a decent enough day. 2 meetings, or 4 here in the UK, then 1 over in Ireland. We're at Salisbury, that's on the flat. We're at Fontwell over jumps. There's Roscommon over in Ireland, then Lingfield, another flat meeting, and then Worcester, another jumps one. So a bit of a mixed card today, and something for everyone, which is always a good thing, I think, and it should be an interesting day, no doubt about that. So we'll take a quick look at yesterday as well in just a second, but just a reminder that this is a live Q&A session. If you did want to join in, that's just all you've got to do is just click on the Q&A session and ask any questions that you might have for this video. If you've got any questions about any of yesterday's tips, or maybe even today you want to look ahead at a certain Royal Ascot market, maybe an anti-post market, that's absolutely fine. We can do that. Or if you've just got any general horse racing betting queries, or just horse racing queries in general, then please do feel free to get in touch. Even if you can't do it on this live video, then remember you can email me, joe@freeracingtips.co.uk. You can get in touch via Twitter, we're at freeracingtips7, and then it's facebook.com/groups/FRT Gold if you wanted to join on that. So plenty of ways for you to get in touch, and please do feel free to do so sort of any time, any day. So yeah, 5 meetings taking place today. Yesterday, there's not actually too much to talk about, not from the fact that it was a really poor day, but Pontefract was actually, the meeting at Pontefract yesterday evening was called off due to a really torrential rain shower that just left quite a lot of standing water on the track, and it just wasn't suitable for racing. And unfortunately, this was where the premium tip and next best bet were both due to run. So it was a bit of a day of void bets and refunded bets, really, to be honest. We had 2 horses run as were part of the lucky 15. One didn't do the business, one did, but with odds of sort of 11 to 10 when first tipped or so. So it wasn't, there weren't any losses at all yesterday. It was, just a bit of a void day, and just sort of want to draw a line through, really. Just, you can't do much when rain like that happens. If it happened at maybe sort of 10 in the morning or something like that, then we would have perhaps been able to, put up a replacement, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. It happened at about 3 o'clock, I think, and it was just a bit too late. And I don't want to just put a replacement up for the sheer hell of it. There were a couple of horses that, of course, made my shortlist that were then taken off. But if I didn't fancy them to be a premium tip at 9 in the morning, why should I all of a sudden at 3 in the afternoon just because a couple have been withdrawn? So yeah, didn't put up any replacements, especially as actually I think the couple that had made my shortlist had already run anyway, and they didn't win. So don't worry about that. But yeah, that was a bit frustrating yesterday, but nothing we can do about that. No one's fault, and no one to blame. It's just the great British weather. But that shouldn't happen today. Looks as though it's a really nice day. Certainly in Norwich here, it's absolutely boiling today, but hopefully that's the same around most of the country, and we could be starting to see some quick ground and some fast ground, which would be good. So with the 5 meetings today, we'll go for our premium tip, next best bet, and then the 2 horses that could make up a lucky 15, or of course you can just do them as singles. So we'll start off with the premium tip today. That goes in the 5.25 at Lingfield, and our tip here is Felwa, and that's currently at 9 to 4. 9 to 4 not available with too many bookmakers, and that's from 5 to 2 when first tip this morning. So a bit of market support coming for the premium tip. This horse has actually been in action on just one occasion, but was in 5th position on that day, and I think that could turn out to be a really decent 5th. I think the horse shaped fairly well, and that was a good maiden, and I think this could be the chance that the horse has to break that maiden tag at just the 2nd time of asking. As always, that experience is going to be vital in these kind of races. In maidens, experience can make all the difference, and although some of these horses might even go on to be a better horse than Felwa, I think that experience that she has here, the filly, I think that can make a big, big difference. Comes from the William Haggas yard as well, which is a really strong yard, which is always a good sign, and just looks to have a really good chance here today. I think that, as I say, I think that 5th could work out fairly well. I think plenty of winners will come out of that race, and yeah, just that experience is vital, and I think the horse can go really well today. Will be suited by the trip and conditions, and yeah, like the look of Felwa, character especially is attracting a bit of market support as well. Felwa 9 to 4, maybe even 2 to 1 available now. That's from 5 to 2 this morning. Right, the next best bet of the day, that goes in the 240 at Fontwell, so that's going over jumps, and it's Leg Iron here, currently at 7 to 4. Now, this horse ran over the distance of 3 miles and 2 furlongs, which is today's distance. Last time out of a mammoth trip, you know, it's the Gold Cup trip, isn't it? And was second on that day, actually, the horse, and I don't think lost anything in defeat there, really. And if in a similar mood today, I think he can take this one. I think he looks to be fairly well handicapped, to be honest. I think not carrying too much weight, and in these kind of mammoth trips, that can be vital in the closing stages. You know, if perhaps you're going over the last fence of another horse, but you've got a couple of pounds in hand over them, that can make a difference, especially when these horses, you know, are tired, maybe start to idle. Just that little bit of a lighter weight can make all the difference. So that could be key. Again, a horse I think that's going to enjoy the trip and conditions, and yeah, has experience over this trip, which is always a good sign, especially, you know, over these longer distances. It's not as if, you know, be bumped up from sort of 2 mile 4 or even 3 miles. Sometimes those extra couple of furlongs can really figure a horse out. But I think 3 mile 2 is a good trip for Leg Iron, and he looks to be good value there in the 240 at Fontwell at 7 to 4. So they're the premium tip of the next best bet, the 2 main bets of the day. Remember, 4 points PT, 3 points for the MB. Hopefully they could do the business. And today there were a couple of other horses I like as well. So as I said, you can either use these to make a lucky 15 with the premium tip at next best bet, or if you don't like a lucky 15 or you don't fancy doing one today, then you can just do a 1 point win only stakes on these, and it might just be that one of them is a little bank builder, because that's in the 155 at Salisbury, and it is Little Palaver, and that's in the 155 at Salisbury. As I said, that's currently an even money shot. And then going from the first race of the day to one of the last of the day, the 8:35 at Worcester, and other jumps there, it's Bob Keown, and this horse is attracting a fair bit of support, actually. 11 to 4 first thing this morning, been backed into 9 to 4 and shortening as well. So hopefully you've found some really good value there, and hopefully that'll be the last leg of a full house for a lucky 15. But you know, of course, premium tip and next best bet, as I say every day, they're the main ones. But if we can hit those couple of extra winners as well, that would be fantastic. So, yeah, feeling good about today. Hopefully, as I said, the weather stays settled and we don't have, you know, a torrential rain like we had at Pontefract. Real shame that happened, but it's just one of those things, unfortunately. Not much we can do about it. But yeah, other than that, you know, the excitement starting to build for Royal Ascot. Not too much out from yards in terms of clues and stuff yet. I wouldn't say, you know, we don't quite know what the ground's going to be, but it looks as though there's going to be a fairly settled week of weather around the Ascot area. And you'd think probably, my guess would be, we'd be looking at good to firm in places, something like that, and they might even water the track. I think they'll want, you know, on the far side of good, I think is ideal. But yeah, as the week goes on, I'm sure there'll be more and more Royal Ascot news taking centre stage. But one piece of news I thought you might quite like: Australia giving a performance rating of 1, 2, 3 after that derby, and I think that was similar to the same mark as See the Stars got a few years ago. I think it's £3 higher than what Ruler of the World got, but still not quite as high as the one Camelot got in 2012. But a really encouraging mark, and the handicap is clearly impressed with Australia. And it looks as though the Derby winner is all set for the Irish Derby, and that will be on the 27th of June. And the next race in anti-post. Latest anti-post showing is showing a 4 to 6 odds-on shot, so not much in the way of value. But what do you expect for a Derby winner going up against probably the same kind of horses, maybe going up against Kingston Hill again? And if I say it's good ground, you can't see anything getting near Australia, but not much in the way of anti-post value or an anti-post market to really get involved in. Sorry for that one. One anti-post market I quite like to look, obviously a while away, but I just noticed a little price on Western Hymn, John Gosden's charge, who ran well and stayed on well in the Derby on Saturday. Western Hymn are currently being priced around about 14 to 1 for the Doncaster St Ledger, which is of course in September, so a little while away. But I just wonder whether that might be a little bit of a decent bet there. And each way anti-post. Of course, nothing could be sure, but I would imagine if the horse ran, I think Gosden said straight after the race, and plenty of others did, that you know, looked to be a St Ledger type, and yeah, perhaps 14-1 Western Him for the St Ledger anti-post might be worth a small bet there, but maybe worth waiting a few more weeks. I don't think that price will change too much until the horse runs again. You never know, but yeah, that could be a good market to get involved in. But in terms of today's video, a bit of a quiet one. Obviously, there wasn't too much to run through about yesterday. We couldn't talk to you about any of the horses because you know, the premium tip next best bet didn't run. But hopefully, as I say, the weather stays fair like it is at the moment, and hopefully we can have a good day. But if you've got any questions throughout the day, please do feel free to get them in. No problem at all. Whatever, you know, whether it's the smallest of questions or you write 300 words and would like a big response, either one is absolutely fine. Doesn't matter at all. But yeah, thanks for watching today, and I'll speak to you all a little bit later on. There'll be a video once again 11 AM tomorrow where hopefully we can talk about all the winners we're going to have today. Have fun bookie bashing, and I'll speak to you all a bit later on. Thanks and bye bye.